What's going on? Welcome back to Radiosdead. I'm here with Brian Nasty, all the way from the UK.
What's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm here, man. LA, I'm here.
Man, so you're in town. What are you doing? Are you promoting your new project? I see you dropped a single too, but you also have the project anywhere but here with you as well.
Yeah.
So what are you here doing? You just vibing?
I'm all of the above. I'm here vibing, promoting the project. And we're here to shoot another video.
Okay, fine.
Another video. We're shooting something next week.
Okay.
Only a nice little week or so in LA, you know. Mm-hmm. I get to hang out with the homies, check in with a bunch of different people, make some music, and then we're gonna go to New York next week. But I'm in LA for now and we're chilling, we're here.
For sure. What you like about so do you like the East Coast or the West Coast better when it comes to the US?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm an East Coast guy.
I feel you.
I'm an just because I'm a Londoner, so like it feels like London on crack. New York feels like London on crack. But you know what? I've come to LA more often in the last 3 years. Like I was here just in November, doing some work, did some stuff, and I'm back here now. But you know what? Now that I've got like my unit, like I got my peoples here, and I know how to kind of move around and what to do, how to be here. I also don't mind it, but for sure East Coast.
Okay.
I'm for sure East Coast.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm from the East Coast. I think a lot of the audience knows that. But yeah, bro, I think the East Coast, it's just, the vibe is just so different and so unique and so cool. And I think also too, so like my family is African and Caribbean, and those cultures are very prominent there versus here. From Ghana.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
Me too, I'm Congolese.
Oh yeah, we talked about it earlier. Yeah,
I'm Congolese.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something about like your music and the visuals that you put toward it that also speak to that. Like I'm like, this dude definitely. Well, you're also from the UK,
for sure.
So like, I guess I know that there's a lot of Africans there, just
for sure.
having family over there. But
yeah,
it definitely feels like African influence. Can you speak to that? Is there anything that?
I mean, you know what? I think because I'm a first generation immigrant, like meaning like my mum was born in Congo, moved to London, and I'm born in London. But I'm still very much in tune with my culture, and I speak French because I'm Congolese, and I speak Lingala, which is the native language of Congo, Democratic Republic even, and I've always felt weird having my whole culture as like cosplay. Does that make sense? So like, so when you make a song, and like I wouldn't feel necessarily comfortable, like dressing up the way that they would in Congo, because that's not something I grew up on. Even though I speak the language, I eat the food, I interact with my culture. I just feel like I never wanted to feel like I'm using my culture as like promotion.
Yeah, no.
To just kind of, and I feel like a lot of artists do that. Like they'll dress up in the dashiki just for the video.
Yeah.
But that's not actually how they're living.
Right.
And so I've always been careful to not do too much. And so with my first EP, I guess Growing Pains, I wanted to speak to that and like definitely infuse it with the music and figure out a way to make it make sense for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that speaks to like authenticity. You know what I mean? Because like even in, like, I know me growing up, like, in the crib, like I said, lots of African and Caribbean influence, like, even from the colors of the walls to the food to, like, the different, like paintings and shit like that. Everything spoke to, like, my family. But outside, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of different stuff going on, and influences and all that. And, like, at the end of the day, first generation, we are influenced by the place we're at.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
for sure. And so, even when I walk around London, I'm a North Londoner through and through. Like, I'm from North London, whatever. But I use my influences from around the world. You'd meet me. Like, I walk around LA. People are like, "You're not from LA?" I'm like, "No, I'm from London." Walk around in New York. I go to the store and I'll talk. I'll be like, "Yo, can I get this?" And they're like, you know what I mean? But they wouldn't feel that way because based off the way that I look. Obviously, there's hella African people everywhere, you know, but... Yeah, I've just always been careful to not do too much when it comes to like bastardizing my culture for a means of profit. You know how people get like that one album that's like super dress up. I'm like, like that's kind of cringe. And so I did it in my way, in a way that felt comfortable, and in a way that felt real. Because I'm very much a North Londoner. I look like a Westerner, you know, like, but I go to the African spot. I talk to my aunties and whatever, my family in different languages and stuff. So
yeah,
I definitely try to weave it into the music, but keep it chill.
Yeah, you just spoke to your style, but what would you say? Where would you say influence for your style comes from? Because you're very you're definitely a fashion guy. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And not on some
clothes. I love clothes.
Yeah, I know you've probably seen like those fashion memes about like people that be trying too hard.
Oh yeah, no.
But I feel like you got it down. No glaze.
Appreciate that.
You got it down already.
You. No, but you know what? I think for me, I just wear what I like, and it's not even like that big of a deal in the sense that like I just love certain styles, aesthetics, right? And I just combine the shit that I like. So me and my homies, we talk about what's your triangle of style, meaning if you had 3 pillars of style, what would they be? And I'll give you my one, and then I want to hear yours. But I dress like a skater, one of them.
Okay.
An old man.
Okay.
And a toddler.
Whoa.
Those are my 3. And like at any given moment, I'm kind of like in that pocket.
Okay.
You feel me? So like another example could be like someone who like loves like a biker, leather vests and leather, like a biker and a businessman and whatever the third is. So for you, what would yours be?
Damn, it's a huge juxtaposition between the toddler and the old man. I would say, I don't know. I don't have the triangle off top. I do know that.
All right, but what 3 pockets of style are you influenced by?
Yeah, okay. So definitely, I went to boarding school,
cool,
which is not something a lot of people know on here, but it definitely influences my style.
Because of uniform?
Yeah, so we had to wear, it wasn't a uniform, but it was a dress code.
Okay,
it was a button-down shirt and a tie with slacks.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like that and the way the kids at my school dress, they're all, like, from the South and, like, dress very preppy. So I think I incorporate...
So preppy is one of them?
Yeah, I incorporate that in my style as well, especially when I'm in the office and doing things like that. I would say... When I was young, I was definitely influenced by like skate culture and like Wayne and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So like that bleeds into it a little bit too.
Preppy, skate culture. See, that's already 2.
Yeah.
And then the third one is what?
Damn, let me see. Let me look at my closet real quick. I don't know, bro. I don't know what the third one would
be. Streetwear. It would be
definitely streetwear. Yeah. Like I think like everybody that is like into like hip hop, R&B, black music in general,
like,
like,
of course,
is like influenced.
Well, the pinnacle of style, culture, and like anything wavy, you know. So that's your 3 pillars. That's what I mean. It doesn't have to be anything like a big deal. It's just like, okay, we got preppy, we got streetwear, and we got, what was the third one?
Preppy, streetwear, skate.
And skate culture.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like even right now, I'm wearing like these basketball shorts, Peak TV. That's a London brand, but they're like some basketball shorts.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And I just wear like the long sleeve under the short sleeve, but that's mad normal. You know what I mean? It's not anything crazy. I got some ones on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But thank you though.
No, makes sense. Yeah. But let's talk more about your background in music, because
let's do it.
I feel like you have an interesting background. You said you started making music at 9 years old, right?
Yeah. The first time I like interacted with music was my school had just got a drum kit, and I was like, yo, dude came in and did a demonstration, whatever. And I was like, yo, this is sick. What is this? How are you doing that? And I just got obsessed with drums and music from then. I've always loved music and listening to it and whatnot, but that was when I first got introduced to like playing music, you know? So yeah.
Okay.
Playing the drums, yeah.
Cool. And so how did your style or how did your like influence shift when it came to music? Like you started at a young age, you know what I mean? But like, were there artists you were listening to? I heard that, or not I heard. I watched a few interviews.
Okay.
Michael Jackson is one of your
biggest. Yeah, bro. I was in the house playing the fucking Thriller cassette over and over again.
Okay.
The Moonwalker film, you know the Moonwalker film? It's the film that is attached to the Bad album. So like there's the Smooth Criminal video, there's the Bad video, but it's all one film.
I didn't realize.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
It's called The Moonwalker by Michael Jackson. And it's like a 2-hour film, like for real. And I'm in the house watching that non-stop. Watching MTV, watching Outcast on TV, the Gorillas.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, yo, these cartoons are rapping and it's hard. And you know what I mean? Like, that's what I grew up watching on TV. And so I was always just interested in, like, what the fuck was going on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So based on those influences, how would you describe your own music for someone that doesn't know you or hasn't listened to a song yet?
Man, every day I'm trying to figure that out, you know, because there's so many different things influencing me. But I would definitely say I make, like, synth pop rap.
Oh, I like that.
You know?
I like that a lot.
That's like, I make synth pop music and you'll think, you know, some pop music over there, but, like, I'm rapping. I use, like, the synth pop formula, but I'm rapping. So, you know, that's how I would describe it.
I really love that because the couple things I'll say about your music, especially paired with the visuals, very cinematic. Like I said before, I feel like when I watch your videos, the music always feels like a soundtrack to the visual.
Yeah.
And I can tell you put a lot of care into that. But also the music itself is very dramatic, not necessarily lyric-wise, but the way it sounds, the production, the synth pop that you're speaking to, like, it puts you in, I don't know exactly the mind state I'm talking about, but I think I feel similar when I listen to, like, a Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah,
right? He's always
dramatic and like playing up the character
and moody.
Of course. And so, I think that's something that I've always loved about music. Like, it's so dramatic. You listen to, like, Thriller's a really good example, and like the way Michael's dancing, and you're like, oh my god, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to give a whole thing with my music, and I've only just kind of figured out how to kind of start doing that. You know, we don't have all the budgets in the world and right now, whatever, but we're early in what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so I just, instead of making a whole film, I make 2 scenes in a film.
Okay.
Like, if I hear a song and I make a song, I would condense it to, like, I'm like, all right, cool, here's a scene that we can make that's from a larger picture, you know? And so I want to always invite people to, like, know what happened before the video and after the video, because it's like a world. Each individual thing is a world, it's a day, it's a moment, and I really do try. So thank you for noticing.
For sure, yeah. All right, so we talked about it a little bit off camera, but let's talk about your time in Japan and filming those videos.
Yeah.
Remind me of the name of that specific song again.
So there's 2 songs. It's a song called Here With You and a song called I Have Nothing More to Tell You. So that's like the city part is Here With You and the countryside part is I Have Nothing More to Tell You.
Yeah.
And what do you want to know about Japan? Japan was beautiful. It was lit.
Well, I just really love the video where you're walking with the old man and you're just, like, following him. You're, like, helping him carry his bags to no end, though.
Yeah.
Like, this shit just never ends.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy because, like, this man trying to do you a favor and you're taking advantage of it, you know? So
I mean, the reason I wanted to make that video was because I'm sure you've been in a situation when you're going out of your way to help someone because you're being polite or even because you want to help them, and it ends up just ruining your day. And that I just wanted to make a video about that. Like I'm like, yo, let me help this old man. I'm sure I'll just carry his bags down the street. But I made it look as if we've been walking all fucking day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, where are we going, bro? Like, and you can't feel the frustration because and I can't even necessarily say where are we going because he's an old Japanese dude who don't speak English. Like, that was for real. And so there's a language barrier, you know? So I wanted to create a moment where it was like, I said I'd help you, now I gotta fucking help you. But that just wasted my whole fucking day. Yeah.
You know what I also love about that I don't think I really told you off camera is that I do feel like that translates over to, like, any sort of relationship, but you talk a lot about, like, actual relationships that you've been in on your project. And I think that that's a thing there, too, because it's like, bro, I've been trying to do something for you, something nice for you, and you know, you're pulling it too much, you're taking advantage of it, all this different type of stuff. But I like that you did that with the old man, because it feels, it's more comedic that way, but it's a message people can relate to.
It's lighter, and also it's like, it's transferable. What I'm saying could be applied to a relationship. That could be applied to your homie. That could be applied to family, you know? Like, doing a lot, and it just never feels like enough. So I have nothing more to tell you, bro.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I ain't got nothing more to give. So that's literally what that song's about. I ain't got nothing more for you, bro. And we're just gonna have to deal with it. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then we talked about your videos being cinematic and all that. Do you shoot all your videos on film? Is that really what we're? Is that the goal?
Yeah, we do. We do shoot all our videos on film, and that's a headache because shit be going wrong. Everything relies on favors. Like, everything is super intentional.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always get the chance and the moment to get it right. You know, you sometimes have to go on the fly, depending on the situation. But you know what? It allows you to be way more intentional and plan a lot better. Because if you have a digital situation, you could just keep pressing record, swap out the battery, swap out the memory card, whatever. Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But for me, I like coming into a space knowing, alright, this is the intent, this is how we're going to do it. It's probably going to go wrong, but we're going to figure it out within that, you know?
Yeah.
And plus, 16mm is just my favorite medium. It feels, there's like a little bit more life to it. Like 35mm is super clean, Super 8 is a little bit too crusty. I love it though, still have worked on it, but 16 is the perfect middle ground for me.
I feel like I could learn a lot about you I think I could learn a lot from you about like film and all that, because I had a homie, I told you about the social hour that we did earlier where people pulled up. I had a homie film that on Super 8 because he has an Instagram page, and I saw one of the videos. I was like, "What kind of camera is that?" Yeah.
And it looks a specific way, right?
Yeah. And what I love about film right now, again, just getting into it, is like, it's so like the colors are so beautiful, but it is imperfect.
Of course,
like it's an imperfect medium of filming, whereas digital sometimes looks too clean.
It's too perfect, and I think that like makes it feel not real enough for me.
Yeah.
Like when you got like the grain and you look a certain way on film, it just feels like, damn, I'm watching something that's timeless.
Yeah.
And not something of the moment. I could play that in 10 years and still it'll look fire. Or this video could be like, oh, was this made in the 70s? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it breathes a lot more life into it. But how did the shoot and the Super 8 stuff go?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
we filmed it on Friday, so I'll follow up with him today. But he said he'd get it to me by Monday. So yeah, I'm interested to see it, because we've been making like a lot of like VHS edits
for sure. Yeah.
But I think this will be kind of a different feel to it, you know.
And I think you can do both. And I think like you were talking to me about how everything's super intentional. I move between all of the mediums. Like I use a lot of digital shit too.
Yeah.
And I use a lot of film shit. But for example, all my like show footage, I have that specifically on VHS. That's like something that I've like learned works for me. Like, yeah, you can have the iPhone footage and have a super clean version or whatever, but I'm like, all right, music videos and films, 16mm is my format, my go-to. Live footage, VHS.
Yeah.
And this, digital, you know what I'm saying? So you can work with all of them. I'm not a fan of mixed media. So if it's on VHS, let it all be on VHS.
Yeah, I feel
if it's on film, let it all be on film. That's me and my preference. But
yeah, I mean, I think consistency too in building it, because things don't have to be perfect. But I think like when you're creative, I think the biggest thing that I notice is like, not everything has to be perfect, but you do have to be consistent.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And like, nothing I've done is perfect. The Japan film was not perfect. Shit went wrong. Camera not working for hours. We've running out of film. The weather's working against us. We've only got today to shoot. Like the camera, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But if you can make something, if you're trying and you've got the intent of making something beautiful, I think that translates better than what the idea is. You feel me?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and that's okay. Take it and run with it, you know?
Yeah. And something I really admire about you, right, is that you dropped your product, you've been working it for a little while.
Yeah.
But then I just noticed that you just dropped another single.
Yeah.
You know, and so you're working that. Are you tagging that on? Is that going to be part of a deluxe? Or you're just trying to keep, feeding your fans and all that?
I think it's a bit of both. It's definitely like a deluxe version. So what we're going to do, it was a whole mixtape, and it was like 12 songs, right? And I was like, the first half feels tight. And then the others are kind of just like a bit more scattered. So I was like, how are we going to be able to do that. And my manager was actually the one who came up with that idea. She was like, why don't you just split it in half and just work that same project for like a year and a half and just keep giving them something different. And so the first half came out in November, and the second half we're gonna like work it throughout this whole year, but in singles. And there's gonna be more films and more countries, more cities, more features, just, you know, a deluxe version giving people something to look forward to, you know. So the last film we did was on it hit 10K today, this morning.
Fire, congratulations.
Yeah, we only dropped it on like Tuesday, which was great, you know. We're just promoting it and just sharing it. We're gonna shoot another one in LA.
Okay.
I have a song with my boy Idris, who's like makes like pop punk. He just dropped his album. He just performed at Coachella. He's great.
Damn.
I'll play you some shit for sure.
Yeah.
And we got a couple more artists, like a label called Stone's Throw, Sophie Royer's on the project. We've got Lord Apex in London. So we've got like a deluxe coming, but we're just gonna slowly put it out and move around and just keep working the project.
Word. Yeah. Well, I definitely got more questions for you because I want to continue digging in, but let's play some of your music because I know, so Malcolm's in here and there's a couple other people in here. And if you're in here, drop a comment, drop a W, whatever. Just make sure, you know, we all see it. Yeah, let us know you're here. But I want to play the latest single,
Let's do it.
2, correct? Because I do feel like, you know what I'm saying? I think especially if people don't know you, they need to see like what
Context.
I've been talking about. Yeah, context and all that. So yeah, let's play it. So that was 2 by Brian, but obviously, you know, when we were offline, we were talking a little bit, and we were talking about just like how you guys move. Like I had Natanya on stream before, and they're familiar with her, and you guys have the same manager.
Yeah,
and it feels like. So I think that old school labels, the one thing they did really well was curate the sound, right? Yeah. It's like there's certain artists that you know you're going to work with because they all exist in one lane.
Yeah.
And because of that, you can provide the right resources for them and kind of put everyone through like similar systems that are going to elevate them. And I feel like Ariel's been doing that for y'all where it's like you are all working with the same people and like curating a vibe, a sound, a look, a feel. It feels like a world that you guys are building.
I mean, for sure. I mean... before even Ariel was involved, I was working with Jakari, the producer who did my first EP, and at the same time he's producing Natanya's first EP, and he's also doing my sister's album all at the same time.
Oh shit!
And like we was in LA a couple of years ago because they were working on the project, and since then I've now put out the song I got with Natanya, and she's now working with Jakari again. He's gonna link us in New York. It's just like we all work with the same kind of people, whatever. And so why wouldn't we move as one? You know, we all. Her winning is me winning, and me winning is her winning, and vice versa. All of the people in the orbit. So Ariel's definitely making sure that she's like, you gotta pull up, we gotta go outside, you gotta go do this, gotta go do that, and so it's working out. It's working out. You know.
Yeah.
Cross-referencing the different worlds and whatnot. And I think even what you're saying about labels, well, not exactly a label, but it's definitely like a pocket of culture that's just over here doing what they're doing, you know?
Would you consider, and this is really me just trying to get the messaging right, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, would you consider yourself part of like the UK underground movement that's happening right now, or not really?
I don't think I would. I think the underground movement, the underground movement is so big, I don't even think we can keep it calling it underground anymore. Yeah. And that just means that like they're doing so well, then they're all succeeding in what they want to do. But I would say so a little bit, like 50-50.
Got you.
Because it's like, everyone's adjacent and everyone might know each other, but there's that pocket right here doing what they're doing. There's these people right here doing what they're doing. And so them winning on the global stage makes us win on the global stage, and us winning on the global stage just brings more power to the UK, because I feel like a lot of people have slept on us for many, many years.
For sure, bro.
But like we've always been here. And so by the time everyone's catching up, everyone's already succeeding, you know? So I would say, to answer your question, but it's definitely not from like a clique of some sorts. I'm just very much floating.
Yeah.
Floating, which is okay.
No. And speaking to what you said about people have been sleeping on the UK in general.
In general, yeah.
I remember my homie Yassine, he's Sudanese, but he's Sudanese American. And in college when we met, he was, putting me on to like Skepta and gigs and all that. And like I was listening, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah, it's cool, yeah.
But it's so funny how well that is aged, because now I listen to Skepta all the time. I'm like, no, I mean, they're obviously an OG. You know what I mean?
Of course, but I think that just lends to like, those are our predecessors. Those are the people that came before us and were able to make noise on a global stage, even if it was small.
Yeah.
But now everyone that's coming before, like, we got to check out the Victory Lap episode. Do you know about Victory Lap Radio?
No, I don't.
Oh my goodness! Tap in Victory Lap Radio.
Okay,
right,
no, let's do it.
Because that is like the turning point, I think, for what we're talking about.
Okay.
If you go on the channel, right
here,
we had Skepta come to the studio
3 weeks ago. This joint.
Yeah, look.
Okay, bet.
But there's like Unknown T. There's like, but this has been going on for years in the background, And so when people are only noticing Skepta and the Central C when he's rapping at radio, that was through Victory Lap.
Oh wait, okay. So when Central C and Dave went on,
that's Jet Swan.
Okay,
that's my boy who runs that platform in London.
Damn, that's crazy.
And if you go on the YouTube channel, you will see the last 5-6 years. I'm talking Natanya's done one. When we was youths, babies, Jornino, like hella people of just that like artists have come up and doing some shit.
Mm-hmm. So is this like, okay, so where do you have to be in order to get on this? Because you were saying, like Skepta's been on it, but you're saying like Natanya's been on it and all that.
Yeah.
What level do you have to be at to be on this platform?
I don't think the level matters. I think it's about what you're contributing.
Okay.
Like, because there's Skepta who's like, there's Central C who's one of the biggest rappers in the world.
Yeah.
But then there's someone like Hebo who's like a grime like legend in the making, who's not necessarily nearly as big, but they're sharing the same space.
Is it
it levels the playing field.
This might not necessarily be the right comp, and maybe they even copied it in a. Well, no, I won't say that. I won't say all that. But it kind of sounds like it's similar to like an On the Radar.
Oh, for sure.
In that sense,
for sure. But this is like its own version of that because it's British culture. Man being in a room and rapping in a circle, like at like radio sessions and parties and stuff like that, has been going on since the 90s.
Okay.
And so this format is a very British UK format.
Gotcha.
And it's only now kind of, because everyone's now kind of paying attention, they're like, oh, this is cool.
Cool.
But it's always been happening. I'm talking the 90s. Skepta, there's videos of him in 2003 rapping in radio.
Got you.
And so it's all just been there. It's all just been there. But like I said, people are only now catching up and giving people their flowers, But,
all right, well, let's watch a few minutes of it, or at least a minute, because I just want to see, because I've seen the viral clips of like Sench and Dave doing it, but I've never really watched this. So
maybe go in the description real quick and let me pick
I bet.
Let me pick someone.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'll show you 2 clips, right? There's no timestamps or whatever, but fuck it, we'll do this.
Age ain't nothing but numbers. 17-year-olds roll with the pumpers. I'm a temple tourer, champagne pourer, which more warrior, class 8, crime scene ambassador, duppy maker, 4-4 savior.
Forget that's fat rude boy, protect your neck. Fuck that AP, fuck that protect. You're a bad man with a bad CD, yeah, stash that shit, fam. Eject.
Never ever been an informer, never told tales. I roll with 4 black males in the feds, better lock us in separate jails. We say next one, Max.
That was fire and unique, and I feel like I understand what you mean by like leveling the playing field, because one thing you were saying while we were on mute is that all these different people are from different, first like walks, but also too like they are at different levels in their career, know. And I think people like know Skepta and know the big dogs, but
I'm standing in the background and I'm in the room, and I could have jumped on the mic.
And when you pointed yourself out, I was like, oh, okay, so that's the vibe of this.
Yeah, we're just all in the room, and then there's the owner of Cortez who hosted this whole shit. And he's like obviously doing amazing with what he's doing, but then there's like upcoming rappers grabbing the mic and standing next to legends, and off rip getting cosigns by just being in the room, you feel me? So
yeah,
it's important. It's
Yeah.
important.
no, big facts. So I think we need more things like that. Like I said, On the Radar is kind of our version of that right now, but we also we have a bunch of different like freestyle platforms. But I don't know if there's one technically right now that is really like leveling the playing field on some like putting people in the room together and showing off skills.
Yeah, like the only thing I can kind of think of is like the XXL freshman shit.
Yeah.
But that's fallen off to a
It's
point
oh
where
my
like
god, it's falling off so badly, bro.
it doesn't even make sense to kind of be associated with it anymore because niggas aren't even rapping live.
Yeah.
The type of people that they're gonna pick for the list ain't necessarily an accurate representation of what's actually gonna be like successful anymore.
And it all feels very political now. You know,
It's always been political. Let's not pretend.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
but-
Like, yeah, high key, yeah.
But it's okay. But now it feels like everyone's kind of just tapped out. I don't know what it is and why that happened, but hey.
You know what would bring new life into that, actually?
Go
Because
on.
we spoke about the underground. And I don't know all their names, but I've been watching that dude, Arshawn from Kids Take Over, go to the UK and interview.
And
Jim.
getting to know everyone, right?
Yeah, and one person that stood out to me was Jim Legacy.
Yeah.
And I feel like someone like Jim Legacy could definitely, like, I don't know, if you just get, like, a new perspective rather than always, like, shooting for, like, American artists or what's going on here.
And that's what I'm
I
saying.
think it could definitely do
And maybe what they need to do is figure out, like, do we have a UK version of that? Or do we just mix the whole shit up?
Right.
I don't know, but there's so many different artists doing so many great things that can stand next to the big dogs.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't know, they've counted us out for so long that like we're just used to it and we just keep going.
Yeah.
And now everyone's pulling up to us, which is a good thing, you know?
So let me ask you a question. Where do you feel like you fit in that? Because I do feel like while you obviously do rap, you do a lot of singing, and then you also just like, you're always constantly genre blending. I think you were talking about synth pop and things like that. Where do you feel like you fit in that realm of, I guess I kind of asked this a different way, but I'll ask you again, like up and coming artists, like where do you feel like you fit in that world?
I don't know. I don't know, and that's not a bad thing. I think I'm able to move, because me, the type of person I've always been dictates all of this shit, right? So I'm in the art block with the kids that draw. I'm in the math top sets because I'm doing good in school. But then I gotta go home with all the hood niggas. So I'm like, I live over there, so I gotta go. So I'm cool with everyone in the sense that like I'm cool with the girls that make the weird electronic music over here. But I'm gonna pull up and chill with my rapper homies over here.
For sure.
And technically, I'm a rapper. So I be rapping.
Yeah.
So whether you want to count it as something, you know, in that space, I definitely could jump on the mic and rap. I just don't.
Yeah.
Because that's a very specific intensity that my music doesn't have. And I don't think that's like a bad thing. But give me a beat, and I can rap. Like it's not, I'm not shy or nothing like that. It's just, I've just never felt like I've needed to, because my songs are not rap moments. They're songs that I'm trying to facilitate. I tour with a band or, you know, like I do different things, but I can still exist. Both can be true. I can be a rapper, but also not participate. That's also fine.
No, for sure.
You know?
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the release event you did out here and how that went for you. I wasn't able to pull up.
That's all
but
good.
But I heard that it was dope.
It was cool. It was cute. Like we had like 20, 30 people pull up. I think when you're trying to travel and like promote your shit, you don't want to necessarily come to LA and like, yo, $10 a ticket if you ain't got it like that.
Yeah.
You gotta know your part. You gotta know where you're at. And for me, I was just like, we gonna be over here playing the music. If you wanna pull up, pull up. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be talking to everyone. So slide. But me, I've always been inclined to just leave my home, leave my ends, and just travel and connect with people. Because those 20 people that pulled up are gonna be the first 20 people at the show when I do one out here.
Yeah.
When I go do the same shit in New York, I'm bringing the people that fuck with what we're doing together. and just seeing if it's real. That's what I mean. Like
you gotta see if it's real.
You gotta see if it's real, because you could have a
sure.
bazillion followers or whatever, but if you pop out to LA and no one pulls up on you, do you got it like that for real?
Bro, I'm so glad you said that, because I really feel like, and I work in like, you know, digital marketing, social media, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like engagement in terms of like your fan base is so much more important than the numbers and the size.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, bro, like, you know, if you really want to like make money, I'm do
this shit
from
for
a
real.
business perspective. You want to make money, like you need people to support you. You know what I mean? And you don't want people to support you on some like, online, or like your friends like support you. You know, because your friends like they're gonna support you, but you need fans that are like
here for the music.
Yeah, here for the music and the lifestyle and
all of it,
the vision and all that. And this is their life too. You know,
and you give them the canvas to their life, right? And so when I'm pulling up to LA to do a little something, or I'm going to New York to do a little something, 20 people. I know it's real.
Yeah.
Let me just focus on feeding the fans, feeding the supporters. You know, we did a little Q&A. We spoke about the project. I played it in full, and they were like, "Oh shit! Like, this is sick!" Like, so they were like, "Next time you come, we're at the show. You know, I'll bring a friend who brings a friend, and you have to go and shake hands. Like, it's like a presidential campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you go outside and you got to shake hands and just talk to all of the people that are interested in you. You know." And I did it in Tokyo last year. We did a show out there and like 80 people pulled up. And I was like, oh, I'm on the other side of the world.
That's nuts.
You know?
Yeah.
And I know the New York one is going to be a bit bigger because I have a lot more homies out there and it's a lot more easier to access. But it was definitely daunting. I wouldn't say it's a comfortable thing for me. I'm like, I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But my manager always pushes me to do more. Because she's like, trust me, this shit is real for you. And I'm like, is it? And then she's like, well, if you do the shit, you'll see. And then people pull up. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. That's lit. Yeah. And then New York, we're going to have like a whole person documenting it. We making a flyer for it, whatever. And it's free. Yeah. It's also not like, you ain't got to spend money. It's just come kick it. Yeah. We're going to throw a little party, play some music, hang out, bring a friend, meet someone new. Like that. We're just curating a little hangout. That's all.
What was a moment, you talked about shows you've done, what was a show you did in a moment you had where you're like, oh wow, like I'm really making it, you know?
Man, I just went on tour in March around Europe with an artist called Orion who lives out here.
Oh yeah, wait, I might be mistaken. Are they from Virginia?
Yeah, Philly I think.
Oh, they're from Philly, okay. I think I did a show with the Orion like way back in the day. But
and so she just toured the UK and Europe. She was like, Brian, you gotta rock with us. And I went with my band, and the tour of diary shit that I was showing you was her tour. Yeah. And we opened, and every night, everyone showed us so much love that like, I was like, oh wow, this shit is real. Like you go from writing your song in your room to making a video or whatever, and then it's like performing it and people are like connected to it, you know? And that in the last, I'm talking 800 people, everyone's got their hands in the air waving at me and shit like that. And I'm like, this ain't even my show. Yeah. But everyone in here is giving me nothing but positive energy. And so that's a recent moment where I'll show you some videos.
Yeah,
even.
Definitely.
I'll even show you a video like, this is like bad because I'm the opener, right? At the beginning of the show, you don't know me. But by the end, we're going to have a good time. So this isn't like Brussels. I'm talking the whole venue is like singing and like having a good time with us. And there's like 600 people in there. Yeah. And I'm like looking at the crowd and I'm like, damn, like, or like if I'm in Berlin and the whole crowd is like, that's like 600 people. And like I'm signing CDs, I'm signing T-shirts, and you know, he you know what I mean? He's getting me to sign some shit, and we people at the merch booth, everyone in Berlin is clapping and having a good time.
And you're probably on stage like literally seeing yourself make new fans. Like it's like, bro, I didn't even know who this was, and now
we're having a good time. And I get so many messages. And I reply to them. And I'm like, yo, like, thank you for the positive energy. I hope you stick around. We got some more cool shit coming soon. So I'm in the process of like building my fan base for real. So that's like a recent moment. That last tour that I just went on was like, oh wow, like I know I can put on a good show, put me on the stage, and we'll have a good time. I promise, we'll have a good time.
What do you? Okay, so you showed me a couple videos, but what do your shows look like and feel like? Are you on? Is it high energy? Is it more like mellow? Like, are you raging? Like, what does it look like?
It's mellow, but intense.
Okay.
So it's mellow and it's chill music because you've heard some of the music.
Yeah. But
I'm yelling. I'm turned about the chill shit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a weird dynamic where it's like, should I be raging to this? But this is like a pop song. That's like a churchy bop. Why is he yelling?
Yeah.
But because I'm yelling, you feel the energy a lot more and you just like, you're hyped to have a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, mellow, but I'm shouting. I'm like, turn up, you know?
Yeah.
I'll show you some more clips.
Okay.
We can play them, but yeah.
Cool. All right, man. I definitely have to see a show.
Yeah.
I need to see it in person.
Yeah.
I think you and Natanya, Natanya I saw perform because she did the show.
She's lit. She's out here dancing. She's doing the whole thing. Okay.
The funniest thing about when I first met her is that basically I was introduced because my homie Sean was doing the showcase, and he was like, you should come through and meet Natanya. So I like went to the green room, met her very briefly, and she's like, okay, I gotta rehearse. And this is a small green room, so I'm talking to Ariel, and she's in the back, and she starts dancing, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, and then she goes on stage, same energy.
We take this shit seriously, bro. Like, if we want to she wants to put on a show in her way, she wants to have a whole choreography or whatever. Me, I kind of treat my shows like a stand-up set. I like walk on the stage, I don't say nothing, and I'm like, hey, can I play you guys some? You know what I mean? And I like embrace the awkwardness of like what my music is. You know, I'll even show you a clip for real. Like, this is in Manchester, right, UK. I'm literally not saying anything, looking, staring at everybody until it goes quiet. I just don't take it too seriously. Yeah. But by the middle of the show, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, we're having a good time. But then everyone's putting their hands up and they feeling what we're doing and they're like, oh, cool. Like, we're giving them a nice little like experience.
Yeah.
And this is just as the opening act. And everyone, my job as an opening act is to leave an impression.
For sure.
When's the last time you went to a show and you're like, oh man, that opening act was sick. I'm going to check them out.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. It's been a little while.
Right.
It's been a little while.
And I know this because a lot of people say the same shit, but not with me. I'm like, my job is to leave an impression. A good one or a bad one. But as long as you remember what the fuck you saw, I did my job.
Yeah. And I like how you are communicating with the audience, even at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, how's everyone doing? You feel me? Like,
yeah. And it doesn't feel like, obviously the show and the performance itself is rehearsed, but I feel like those moments when you speak and you're reacting to like things you're seeing in the crowd, that feels real. That doesn't feel performative. It feels like a conversation.
Yeah. And it's funny because I have a song called One on the first side of the project, and I just dropped a song called Two.
Yeah.
So like I would perform the song One, and they're like, oh, if that song's called One, where's Two? And then I perform Two, and they're like, oh, no way, I predicted that. And I'm like, let me land, you know? So,
yeah. I can see what you mean by comedy show. It's definitely like, I don't know, there's an element of humor.
Yeah, of course. I don't take myself too seriously because my music, it might be serious. Yeah, I'm trying to do this and that, but when you're kicking it with me, we're having a good time. We're cracking jokes. I'm like, you know, we having a good time. So that's what I want to leave with you. Like, as the audience, I want to make sure you feel comfortable. You're like, oh, I feel like I've known this dude forever. Yeah. Like, that's the energy I want to leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I have a few So every stream we talk about things going on like in real life and current events and stuff. I don't know how caught up you are on like movies and all that, but would you say you're?
I'm seeing Sinners today.
Oh man, we can't even talk about it. Then.
No, we can't talk about it. I'm seeing it today. I've been offline. I'm avoiding spoilers. I'm sick of it. So, I've been moving around all week. No, and it dropped on the weekend.
You know what's so funny is that my week has been busy as fuck too, and my roommate, I went to go see it with him, but I literally had to cancel shit. I was like, all right, I'm not doing this.
Like today I was going to have a session. I was like, nah, I want to go see the fucking cinema. Like, what the fuck?
But you seem like a movie head. You feel me? Like you seem like somebody that watches a lot of movies.
I do watch a lot of movies, but not as much as you would think. I'm trying to change that, but I've seen a lot of movies for sure.
Okay. So where do you think you get that? I mean, I think just talking to you, I feel like you're just an artist in general. Like everything you do, like is art in terms of like, all right, like obviously the dude's going through right now. We're all going through with him, but you feel me? Everything about him since the very beginning of time has been performance art.
Performance art.
Tyler is somebody that also leans into that for me.
For sure.
But basically, I just say that to say like, feels like you live in a world where your life is also part of your art.
Oh, for sure.
So where do you get that when it comes to the cinema and stuff? If you don't really watch like that many movies,
I think it's make believe.
Okay.
And when I write a song and I'm like, oh, it would be so sick if this was happening. And you know when you're like, oh, I can see this when it's like a car chase.
Yeah.
Like I have a song called, for example, Time I Leave, right? I don't know if you've heard it, but it sounds like 70s Miami drug bust to me.
Okay.
So I'm like, we can even play it for a little second. It's like, it just feels like Colombo. It just feels like Miami Beach, sunset. We in the cop car. We about to drug bust this operation.
Okay.
And that's how I see sounds.
Okay.
I just make a song and I'm like, wait, what does this feel like?
I'm trying to think. So what was the inspiration for that? Or had you watched a movie, or you're just like, this is what it would seem, this is what it would feel like?
Just what it would feel like knowing like the TV show Colombo or whatever. If you play a song called Time I Leave, for example. Time I Leave. Like just the instrument, like we just, the video doesn't reflect it because we weren't able to capture that energy, right? But the song, I was like, yo, this feels like a cocaine drug bust in the 70s. So while I sleep, I think it's time I leave. I try to get reminded that I'm weak. I think it's time I leave.
Build the world and then also just like create an aesthetic.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Damn.
So I've been very like consistent with it over the last year and a half. All the videos have been on film. All of my tour footage and like my live clips have been on, you feel me, VHS. And now that I have like something that I can repeat, you know, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Because again, truest form of artist, right? You're always experimenting and tweaking and building different things. And from everything you wear to like the visuals you're putting out, everything feels very cohesive. Do you find it difficult to find other people that can help fulfill that vision sometimes?
You know what? Nah. Because everyone's so open. And because like you said, I know what I like and what I want. When I explain to people what I like and what I want, they're like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
So let's do it. And so they're like, all right, cool, let's do it like this. And that's not to say that I've come up with everything myself. I definitely come to people and then I'm like, they help me amplify it because I just have an idea and someone helps me take it to the next level. And that's what collaboration is all about. You feel me? You can't do everything on your own. I can't be behind the camera, in front of the camera, doing this, that, you know? So that's why I love working with people. But I've never struggled so far. It's just about how consistent you can be with it, you know? That's not always easy, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good, yeah.
Okay, and I don't want to air you out, but I do want to say something that you said off camera.
Go on.
Okay, so the song 2, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of an older
it's an
joint,
old
right?
song, man.
Okay.
I came up with the idea in 2021, and What do you want to know about it?
I just want to know if that's your old shit. Like, what does the new shit sound like? You know what I'm saying? Because that, to me, that song is very already forward thinking.
Thank you.
So, where are we going with it right now?
Where are we going?
What's the general idea? Like, what does your next few projects look like to you? Or what does your next project look like to you?
My next project is gonna be my album.
Okay.
And we're mixing all of the things that you've heard so far.
Yeah.
And taking it to the next level while trying some new shit. So the Natanya song on my first EP, some high life shit.
No way.
There's gonna be some more high life shit.
Bro, I grew up on high life, so
there's gonna be some high life shit, but mixed with raps.
Wow.
There's gonna be like the bluesy version of Teething that I just showed you. There's gonna be a lot more original songs sounding like that on the album. Full band situations. There's gonna be a lot more grungier, heavier shit. Shit to like dance to and feel good. I've got some Lovers Rock. I've got some songs that I'm working on. But it's gonna be a combination of everything. And like I said, if I put that out if I made that in 2021 and we're in 2025, I've only grown. I only know how to be more dramatic, know what I like, how to mix stuff that I like and shit. I'm excited. And so that's why I'm moving around making music right now. But in the meantime, we're gonna build the world. So by the time we get to the next shit, you're familiar with how I'm about to be, you know.
I'm excited to hear it.
Hey man,
that music sounds really fucking good.
I played some shit off there.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
We gotta run up 2 for now. For
sure.
But I got a joint with iDress and Picture coming out at the end of next month. We're shooting a video for next week. You should come say what's up.
Nah, for sure. Let's do it.
Say what's up.
Okay.
Imagine what Jimi Hendrix and Max B would make.
I can't even imagine. Like that's some mind blowing shit.
Yeah, so that's like what we've got in the vault. And I play you like me and Lord Apex got a gospel song, but it's rapping on it and shit. And I'll play you some shit for sure.
Okay.
But I'm excited as well to drop the shit. But man, anywhere but here with you, it's been going crazy. I've managed to travel the world off this shit, you know, and we're just getting started. So I'm hyped.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. All right, we're probably gonna get out of here in a few minutes. I did want to do the Put Me On segment. We've had a couple technical difficulties. This dude is
that Lord Apex one is coming. Don't you worry. It's coming.
Let's do it. Brian's been seeing me fight my TV and my monitor the whole time.
I know how it gets, man.
But what I do want to do to preserve the segment, because I do feel like you have such good taste, right? Is I wanted to ask you a few upcoming artists besides yourself, of course. Cool. That are coming out of your region that you feel like we should all know about.
Okay, let me think about this 1 second. Dexter and the Newsagent. Yeah, okay. She's like a young black girl from London making some like indie pop rock kind of shit. I'm really loving her music. A girl called Otta.
Okay.
OTTA. She makes like electronic kind of pop, soul, tweaked out stuff coming out of London. We got my boy nigga Brandon. Went to school with him. That's my brother. He put out a project, So Far So Good, at the end of last year. That's like really forward thinking, like really, really forward thinking, and his next shit's gonna be really fun as well. But yeah, those are 3 artists that I would say are in my lanes from my city that I'm fucking with. Yeah.
Fire. And yeah, I always like to see how people respond to that, because that's love too. Is like, you know, putting other people on. Other people's shit.
Me putting people on takes nothing off my back. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I literally had that conversation last night. It's like we work in an industry. Because whether you like it or not, I think artists are also part of like the music industry and the whole ecosystem.
You have to be.
And it's so competitive because like obviously only a few people really make it to the heights that everyone dreams of making it. Or, you know, at least the majority of people dream making it. I think people have different visions. But it is nothing to help someone else as long as you're not being pulled out of your own zone.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to like, you know what I'm saying, put people on to somebody else, because it's not going to take fans away from you.
Nah.
You know?
If anything, it's only going to, like you said, build the world. Me and Latanya only have like 1 or 2 songs together, right? But you can see that we're moving around together and it's working out.
Yeah.
So imagine when we both get to where we're going to go to and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, you guys have a song from back in the day together? It's like, yo, we've been out here grinding and hustling at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Even though she's in her own world doing her own shit, I'm in my own world doing my own shit. But she right here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, we got to support each other.
Yeah.
And just keep pushing, man. Because it's about to work. We're on the other side of the world doing what we're doing, so we must be on the right track, you know?
No, for sure. No, y'all are definitely on your way, and
so far so good. Nega Brandon, Nega Brandon.
Nega Brandon. Got it. Yeah. Got it. Damn. All right. Well, that's all we got then, because we got the battery exhausted. But you're gonna hear the sound of our voice. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. This was the Brian Nasty episode. Brian, thank you for coming through. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Peace out, y'all.